College football postgame for the early window games, and the Miami Hurricanes scrape one out past Louisville Cardinals 52-45. Miami had a couple of 10-point leads in this game, and actually had Louisville, like, this game went back and forth. The third quarter in this game was just wild. Cam Ward, 21 of 32, 319, 4 tutties. Tyler Shuck, 31 of 51 for 342 and 4 tutties. The teams put up 986 yards of offense. 661 of that was through the air. But it is the Hurricanes, improving to 7-0 with the 52-45 win. Welcome back inside our HQ studios. Jeremy St. Louis, Damien Harris, Bryant McFadden, and Danny Kanell here. Good teams know how to win ugly. Yeah. I don't know if you call this an ugly win or not, but I mean, how would you classify what you saw from Miami today?
Well, they made the plays they needed to make, right? And I don't have a concern with Miami offensively with Cam Ward. They can score with the best of them. The issue for me has been defense. The untimely miscues that have allowed splash plays from opposing offenses. At some point in time, you got to find a way to rectify these issues, because when you play against better teams and it's looking like they won't see a really good team until the ACC championship game, you don't want to allow these holes to continue to surface. Splash play after splash play. Either they're giving up long plays running or long passing plays. That's bad football. Now to the defense credit, they did force a critical turnover that led to a touchdown. That was probably the defining play that allowed them to win by a touchdown. But outside of that, there are too many miscues happening with this team defensively that have too much talent on all three levels to allow this to be a reoccurring theme.
Damien Martinez was the star of the show to me today. Just that last touchdown run to put the icing on the cake. I mean, what just happened? Come on, B-Max. See, he got me distracted looking at the Alabama-Tennessee game. Had me thinking something was happening. Damien Martinez, now imagine, as great as Cam Ward is, as phenomenal as he is extending plays, throwing the football, everything in the passing game, you add a guy like Damien Martinez that can be a bell cow back for the rest of the season for Miami. Holy crap. Who's going to stop him? I mean, Clemson is a team that we all kind of feel could be match up with them in the ACC championship. How do you defend both? How do you defend a guy that runs the ball as hard as Damien Martinez did today? We talked about it today. He ain't got no wiggle. He ain't got nothing in the open field, but he runs hard. He runs tough. And if you can add not even just the fact of the presence of the run game, but the toughness aspect of it, because Miami's real finesse. Cam Ward is a finesse guy. But you add a guy like Damien Martinez to be the bell cow and to add a toughness layer to this Miami offense, man, their ceiling is, I can't even see it right now.
Damien Martinez was great, Cam Ward was great, but they were not the MVP of this game. They were not the MVP of the season for the Miami Hurricanes. That would be the ACC Command Center. Because this is the I'm kidding, because they got the call right? Like, you could argue the targeting call against Cal and the Virginia Tech Hail Mary, which I think was the right call, that they did not catch it. But they keep having these controversial plays. It is wild how the season is unfolding for Miami. They keep flirting with disaster, and there was another very controversial call. I think they got it right, where Louisville made this great, sack that looked like a potential fumble and was returned for a touchdown. And then, of course, they look at it in slow motion. You see that it was, forward motion, that it was an incomplete pass, so they get it right. They continue to flirt with disaster, and they keep winning. And you can't really knock them for it. But I'm worried with you, B-Mac, about the defense. Now, Tyler Shuck is good, and Louisville's, this is their third loss by exactly a touchdown. Like, they're a really good team. They just can't get over that hump. They can't win some of these one-possession games. But if you... Like, this is where I want to, the way we should be talking about Miami is they should be an ACC playoff contender and a potentially national championship contender. Their defense is not playing to that caliber. Their offense is. The defense has some significant issues they need to address, or else they're going to fall short of their goals, which is the ACC championship, because Clemson is playing better than Miami right now.
But you don't think, and this is, I'm not throwing my opinions out there. I'm just asking you personally, I shouldn't say as bad, but with the defense not playing as well as they should, do you not think that Miami and Cam Ward, you don't think they can score with the best of them? Because I think, and I was kind of on the same fence that you guys were on. Like, okay, they keep coming close to losing, and they keep setting themselves up to lose. Well, now I just feel like like B-Max said, they're making the plays to win. And regardless of if it's ugly, if it's sloppy, they are making the plays. Cam Ward didn't turn the ball over today. He played phenomenal. He made the plays that needed to be made. What was it, third and forever, and he rolled out to to his left, found a guy in the back of the end zone. So I think, and I'm not saying that they don't need to improve defensively. I don't want to give off that message. But what I will say is Miami, at least you can hang your hat on the fact that Cam Ward is phenomenal. He is one of, if not the best quarterback in the country. You're adding a physical run game element to your offense. So at least if you don't get things straightened out on defense, you've got an offense that can always keep you in the game, always put you in a position to win.
The good part about wins like this, though, I think, and you guys can disagree with me if you want, is that it gives you that mental aspect that we're in it.
For sure.
We may not win it by 2 touchdowns, 3 touchdowns, but we're going to win. We're going to win. And it seemed like that with Miami today, that mental toughness was there, that when Louisville started to push back, they were able to push the button forward and able to get the points they needed to win.
Totally agree, Jeremy. And to your point, and to Damien's point, it wasn't Cam Ward that closed out the game. Damien Martinez, that closeout drive when they're running the 4-minute drill and they're milking the play clock and they're running it down and they just want to get out of there and run the game out. Damien Martinez was the guy who closed it out with that massive run.
12 carries, 89 yards, and a touchdown for Damien Martinez today, averaged to 7.4 yards per carry. As you said, got to be able to find a way to stop him. He's a guy that could be a big weapon for this Miami team.
Absolutely.
As they continue to move forward. They sit at 3-0, sitting behind Clemson in the ACC. For more on the ACC and the college football playoff, how this impacts things, let's turn it over to Mackenzie Brooks. I turn around, Mackenzie, but this is like a weird shot. So
don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Throw it over to you.
I'll tell you everything you need to know, and I'll tell you who were the biggest Cards fans today hoping for that upset was SMU. SMU would have loved to see Miami go down because they would have had that head-to-head against Miami if that were the case. So unfortunately for them, that's not where we sit. So here's how things really shake out now that Miami has that win. We did love Clemson to win the conference, and that's why we used to have them as the best chance to make the playoff. Miami, with that win, absolutely helps their chance to make the playoff because after an impressive win to us in the model, we think Louisville's a respectable team, so that almost gives them talent points as well. Now we feel confident that they could beat Clemson in this ACC conference game. So now it's really a battle of Clemson versus SMU to get to that ACC conference game against Miami. And while we do like SMU's schedule better when you go game by game and they're favored, they are better shot to win game by game, they have one more game than Clemson. So that really just starts to weigh out, and that's why we give Clemson the upper hand to get to that ACC conference championship to battle with Miami there. So SMU, while they are fighting to stay alive, this really would have been huge for them if the Cards could have got the upset.
I disagree. You know why? Because I think, yes, they have the win over Louisville, but they don't play Miami or Clemson. Now they might not have to play them ever. Like, they could sit back, win out. They're a 11-1, and they're sitting there, and they can watch Miami and Clemson battle each other in the ACC championship
and still go
game.
to the playoffs.
Exactly. And that might be their chance to get in. Now, that would probably mean 3 teams from the ACC to get in, which we don't know if there's space for that.
I don't know.
So how many, based on my math, how many SEC teams? How many Big Ten teams? What about my head kids? Help us out, kids.
Listen.
You guys were the ones putting all them SEC teams in. It's good, but I do think that's probably SMU's route.
The best route.
Yeah.
The best route.
Absolutely.
I agree with you, too, as well, because I think if you finish 3rd in the ACC and you don't get a ticket to Charlotte, right? That's what the ACC game is, again, if I'm not mistaken, in Charlotte. You just sit and wait, because if you finish the season like you need to, you still will be a top 15, top 12 team in the rankings when it's all said and done. And to your point, I feel like the 3rd best team in the ACC, if they're ranked in the top 12, top 10, will probably get an invite to the playoffs when it's all said and done, without playing for a conference championship game.
Agreed.
The other thing they need, and they should be fans of, is BYU. Like, because their only loss is to BYU by 3 points. If BYU's unlikely run continues and they're Big 12 champs and they're a playoff team, you say, hey, our only loss was by 3 points to BYU.
I agree.
Good look on the resume. Miami just happy to get the W as they improve to 7-0 with a big win, big on the scoreboard and big overall for Miami. But it was a close call, certainly 52-45. The fumble recovery that went for a touchdown was probably one of the difference makers, the difference maker in the game, certainly by 7 points. And you see today, you see the close calls, the 27th, the 5th, and then today. And next week, Florida State.
Watch out!
You know what? I'll say this right now. Is my mic still on?
Your mic is still on.
I know we're 1-6 right now, but if we beat Miami next week, I will overlook us having the
everything's
bad record
excusable, man.
No question.
Get rid of Mike Norvell.
I wouldn't. Oh,
Get rid of Mike Norvell. There's something else in there.